Welcome to Beyond the Physical, a podcast that uncovers the secrets to tapping into the world beyond form to thrive in life and business. I'm your host, Sitara Faye, a world-renowned psychic medium, quantum business coach, and your guide on this journey beyond the physical. Each episode will dive into spiritual insights, intuitive wisdom, and practical strategies to help you discover your personal greatness. Please feel free to find me on Instagram and YouTube at sitara.speaks for daily connection. Thank you for joining us, and let's get started. Before we proceed with today's episode, please note that this was originally recorded as an Instagram Live, and you'll notice some instances where I encourage some interaction. If you find yourself wanting to do so or to catch us live, please feel free to dial in by commenting on any of my posts on Instagram, and I'll be happy to send you a DM. Hello, my loves. We're going to do a 3-card reading. I'm having one of those mornings. I actually have quite a bit to do, and I have just felt that I needed to sit down here and needed to do this reading. So let's go ahead and see what is going to come up. I've kind of been back and forth on if I use cards or not. So as we're all hopping on here, let's go ahead and just simply share with me where you are tuning in from. Allowing yourself in these moments to set the intention of what it is that you would like to see. What is your intention for this reading? What's alive for you? What kind of insights? Yes, we are at the 1212 portal. I actually woke up super early this morning in a really good mood. Like, holy moly, I was like, what is going on here? And yeah, I do have a weekend trip planned with a couple of friends that I can tell is going to be a really significant initiation, really profound portal. So I'm feeling that. I'm feeling quite vulnerable because I know it's going to be a very deep heart dive with a lot of just healing and expansion available. Beautiful. So reflection from your own higher self. How do you step into more abundance? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And for anyone else that has an intention that you'd like to be witnessed in, that you would like to simply share here, please do feel free to put that into the comments. All right, beautiful. So let's go ahead and take a couple nice big deep breaths. I'm going to go ahead and share loss of your son needing healing. Hi, love. I'm so glad that you are here. Yeah, please feel yourself being wrapped in giant angel wings, just loving every single ounce of everything that you are feeling. Beautiful. So as we call in divine truth and love into this sacred space, we invoke the highest possible healing for each and every viewer, replayer, and myself. We ask for the courage and compassion to speak and to hear from the purest form of self-love and forgiveness to all involved. Yo siatria iwa haakaya iasio niowapuaka. Yo sia iania yo kwapu okua satri I atriawa wa ho'oku uapu satria kia. Beautiful. And if you haven't yet taken advantage of the golden holiday stack that we have available, you can just simply type golden here in the comments. It's the Dragon Activation, the Entity Clearing Masterclass, and the Quantum Leap Immersive. Massive deal. Massive deal. You won't see it again, so go ahead and take advantage of that. Again, just type in golden in the comments here and you'll automatically be sent that information. All right, so let's go ahead and pull these 3 cards. We're going to use these 3 cards just to simply put us on track. But I can tell you right now that there's something big that's moving through me specifically with this transmission. So it might be partially channeled, letting the cards speak. There we go. All right. So go ahead and just take a moment to take a deep breath, setting your intention. knowing that we are co-creating with each other. So yes, this is a general reading. You can take it as it resonates, but whatever is there within your own heart, know that as you are here, especially here with us live, and also if you're watching on the replay, because we work in the quantum. So time and space do not exist in the same way as our own linear form. So you found this video for a reason. Go ahead and just simply make yourself comfortable and tune in for a moment. So it's the 1212 portal. There's some massive shifts that are happening. I'm sure you've heard a lot about New Earth being birthed, and what I feel like is happening, I feel like the labor has begun. And so the labor of this New Earth frequency, the labor of this New Earth consciousness is happening, and it's happening on an individual level. We are doing this collectively, yes. We are doing it planetarily, yes. But the activation of this New Earth consciousness is happening on an individual level. Are you guys feeling that? Are you feeling your awakening speeding up? Are you feeling your ascension speeding up? Are you feeling your healing speeding up? Are you feeling the triggers getting louder of things that you have not reconciled, that you have not looked at? Are you allowing yourself to actually tune in a deeper way to actually face the healing that's available there for you? Kimber's saying absolutely. April's saying yes. Edwards Alexandria, yes. It's me, hello, yes. Beautiful. Thank you all for participating with me. Thank you all for having a conversation with me. Sometimes it feels like I'm just sitting here talking to my phone. All right, beautiful. So I'm just feeling so much energy moving through me. I woke up at like 6:30, which I don't do. I'm not one of these like 5 a.m. people. And there was so much energy moving through me. I was in a good mood. I'm still in a good mood. I'm just feeling like there's a lot of, like the centrifugal force of healing has started to pick up. There's something really profound happening in the collective. There's something starting to like really move. And yes, we as women, we shed what's going on collectively through our wombs. It's not even just what's going on with us. And so there's something really profound to be said just about this cycle that we're stepping into. And I really do believe this cycle that we're stepping into, we're going to see ego dissipating. If you are operating in any bit of your own ego and you're finding that you're stubborn or you're resistant or you're holding resentments, you're holding grudges, whatever it is, it's the ego structure, right? That's the wounded masculine. The wounded masculine within us is the part of us that doesn't allow for the softening and the flow. And ultimately the softening is what needs to happen, right? To go through a birth canal. It's the release. There's the contractions, yes, and then there's the release. So let's go ahead and tune into this card first. Yes, this cycle is intense. I just want you guys to know you're not alone. In the times when you're like laying in your bed or sitting on your couch, you're just like, what the F is going on? This is so intense. Just know you are not alone. We are experiencing this together. You're not going crazy. We are in a massive ascension portal. We are really stepping forward into being way showers for the new earth. There's some of us that are learning to fly. There's some of us who have been flying for years that are showing some of our brothers and sisters what happens when we wake up. And it's beautiful. It's all in perfect timing. It's all in perfect timing. Beautiful. And love, I see you that you're in such grief you can't see or feel past it. Just, I know that it hurts. And just do your best to face it head on. Just be with the grief, be with the pain, be with what it is bringing to you. It is the way that you will actually move yourself through the grief faster and to find yourself to the other side. Beautiful. All right, so first card here, we have the 8 of Pentacles. And just go ahead and take a moment to stare at the image and allow yourself to receive the messages that are here for you in this card. Siotroa niakia hiikia siatria iania kia siatriawa iowapu uku satria wa haanai iki siatri. Yo siotroa no haaya kia siatria wa hookuanaya wa haakataraya. One of the things that's coming through very clearly is like The more that you relax, the more that you rest your nervous system, the more that you surrender, it's like the resources are being provided for you to be in the divine alignment of your soul's true purpose. It's allowing yourself the full permission to actually follow your heart's guidance. It isn't a Hallmark card. I almost just got feisty. It isn't a Hallmark card. It's not a Hallmark card greeting or like something you pick up at Hobby Lobby that just says follow your heart. No, it's actually that your heart is your golden compass. Your heart is leading you to your soul's purpose, your greatest joy, your greatest bliss. It's leading you to your greatest purpose. It's leading you to your reason for being. You incarnated here for a reason. If you are receiving this message here right now, chances are you are a starseed. Chances are you are an indigo child. Chances are you have gifts and abilities that are ready to be woken up or ready to be turned up. People don't sit on here on these lives with me for no reason, right? So there's something that is churning within you. There's something that is turning within you that is activating your own divine blueprint, that is activating your own divine consciousness. Now, what happens in that is when you start to feel that your heart is calling you to something else and it feels like an unknown. It feels like, I don't know what's going to happen. How am I going to make money? Where are the resources going to be coming in from? Blah, 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 all of that. And it's valid. It's very valid. It's not just jump off a cliff and see what happens. I've done it multiple times. I like jumping off cliffs, metaphorically speaking. Sometimes it works out, and sometimes I've gotten myself in really big freaking trouble. And I'm not just talking about like a little bit of trouble, like really big trouble. And so there's a balance to being able to take each step forward. But what this card is showing is that the resources are there, but it's also chop wood, carry water. It's build the bridge. It's build the bridge. It's meet the universe. Take 2 steps towards the universe. It's going to meet you 4 steps. It's going to meet you more than halfway when you agree to surrender to the plan that is there in front of you. So allowing that to move through, allowing that to come through. And I'm just going to let myself open and just channel for a little bit. Siatria iania ewa hookuapu atraewa. Yo siatriawa awa hookutruanwa siatriawa. Ya siatriawa. Okay, so this weekend I am going to a trip with Shasta. Sometimes when I go to Shasta, I will leave like a beacon open for people to tune into. I'm not going to do that this weekend. And I'm not going to do that this weekend specifically because there are certain things and certain experiences that to me I hold very sacred and dear and near and dear to my heart that I don't share publicly. And part of that is because it is my own exploration. It is my own life journey. I don't feel that everything necessarily needs to be shared. And there's just something that's happening just on my own path that feels very, very significant about what's taking place this weekend. And so I'm sharing that with you, but I'm sharing that with you also with the intention of saying that I'm going to be tuning off the internet for a few days. I'm going to come back and I'll share with you some of the insights of what's taken place when we're there. Usually I keep it open. Usually I, have some sort of Telegram group or something along those lines. And this time it doesn't feel right to do that. So I'm not going to do that. But I am going to just simply cue you all into it to know that there is a lot of grid work that's taking place for those that feel called to grid work. Who here that's tuning in right now, do you feel called to grid work? Do you consciously know that you are doing grid work? And for those of you that don't know what grid work is basically those of us who are light workers that basically go around the planet and anchor points of light to help the evolution of Gaia merge into the new Earth. There have been a lot of us that have been doing this very consciously for a very, very long time. There are groups now that are doing it. I had a client, she was absolutely extraordinary. She awoken people to their dragon energy, and she would go around the world awakening the dragons, similar to what I did in Dubai this last year, which I'm actually going to be doing again this year within the next, not quite the next month, about a month and a half. I'm really excited about it. Really excited about it. Siatria kiania wa hokupu sutruona kaya siatriania haaya kia siatrea wanua haakatriania kia pua haakatruonwa sutrua. This prayer that's coming through has everything to do with you trusting your innate gifts and your innate abilities. Some of you are still under the amnesia, and some of you are still breaking through the indoctrination. Siatrianiawa huapuaku sutruonwa pukunuku satriakia siatri ki kianiki hiahakan wapu kusutruonwa katria niakia siatri I kia siatre niakia siu nio kuapu kunuku sutru. All right, so easiest way to do grid work. Grid work 101. You just stand outside, feet on the earth, and you just anchor light through your body. You are the conduit between realms. So think of your body as like a copper conductor. You are the conduit between realms. So because you are a multidimensional being of light embodied in a physical human form, like we get to walk in this material world where I can tap on this table and I can also commune with my guardians and guides. I can also commune with the other side. And so because and that's not just me, right? We all have dormant abilities that we just simply haven't awoken to and that we've been trained as dark, evil, bad, all this sort of stuff. So when we are really tuning into our vibrational capacity, not just to ground, right? That we're not just grounding our own self because we're losing our mind or weird stuff's going on or we're overly emotional, whatever it is. But it's also that we are tuning our crown chakra to direct connection to source. And what I've started doing with this is instead of trying to connect crown chakra anywhere outside of myself, what I've started doing is actually just turning the light of my heart all the way up. What I'm finding, and this is for me personally, but what I'm finding is that there's a lot of distortions that are going on in 5D right now and the just multidimensional planes that in meditations and in that capacity to like really draw in light, it's just getting weird. That's why I don't teach channeling. I teach embodiment. I think embodiment is far more powerful than anything that we can channel, right? Because if you think about it, who are you channeling? What are you channeling? You're channeling your soul family. You're channeling the beings that you were a part of, that you are a part of. It's not outside of yourself. You are one of them. You agreed to airdrop into this crazy world and to participate. So you are the one that has the body and the soul and the spirit that is connected to these realms. So from my personal perspective, there's nowhere outside of ourselves that we need to go. There's nowhere outside of ourselves and nothing outside of ourselves that we need to channel. Rather, part of what is here and available to us is having meetings, right? So we can have these meetings with our soul families and with our star families that have a bird's eye view of what's going on, that can give us guidance and can support us and can help us through this world and through this reality. And you know that they are soul family because you can feel it in your heart, right? False light comes in through the crown. False light feels euphoric. It feels dizzy. It feels like intoxicating. It feels like, ooh, it feels like kind of like Molly, like a ecstasy type of euphoria. And it can also be very disorienting because it actually like clouds your crown chakra and your ability to connect with your own higher self. So that's one way to identify what is false light. False light is also very fake. It's very alluring. It's very manipulative. It does not allow you to be in your sovereignty. It uses shame. It uses judgment. It uses all sorts of funky stuff to basically manipulate you to submit. I can't go for that. Oh, no. No can do. No. Your power comes from your embodiment. Your power comes from the depths of your heart. Your power is innate to you. It is not it is something that you connect to within you. You break through the stuck energy and you break through the amnesia. That's the process of ascension. That's the process of the embodiment that we're stepping into. Okay, so before I pick another card, for those of you that are hopping on and you haven't taken advantage yet of the Golden Holiday Stack, it's the Dragon Activation, it's the Entity Clearing Masterclass, and it's the Quantum Leap Immersive. You do those 3 courses, and I guarantee you it's going to change your life in some of the absolute best ways. You are going to feel so much more aligned with what it is that your soul came here to do, as well as awakening that true inner power within you. I'm about embodiment and I'm about sovereignty. I'm about you empowering yourself to be your own guru, for you to empower yourself to be your own way shower. I believe that I'm here as an activator. I'm here to turn the lights on. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to turn the lights on so that you can find the power within yourself to step and walk that way. I believe that we are so much more powerful together. If you want those courses, I'm seeing in the comments, just go ahead and type golden in the comments. Sorry if I didn't say that again. Just type golden in the comment here. You'll automatically get the link to join that. It's also link in the bio. All right, here we go. We've got the 4 of Wands. We've got the 4 of Wands, and we have the 4 of Wands on this, like, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful card. And again, before I go into it, go ahead and just take a look at the card and receive the messages that the card has for you. Ya siatria hiokwa hunukua pu sutruanaya. Ya siotrua na akapu usutreya nia haaya kia siotrunoa punaku ukutrunoa. Yo siatria wa hua siotruanawa yo kuonawa. There's a big heart healing here. It's funny because the word that I get with this one is like matrimony. Just kept coming through, matrimony. And the matrimony is like to be in sacred union with divinity. It's to be in sacred union with your divine self and to be in sacred union with source. And what I'm seeing is it's like the image of your divine union with source being in divine union with your soul's purpose. So the interesting thing about this planet is that we have free will. We have free will. And so because we have free will, and I can't tell you how many times I've seen this, and to me, it is disheartening, but it's not something I have control over. It's that you can literally choose to bypass your purpose. You can literally choose to not rise to the occasion of what you came here to do. And some people get here and they just don't necessarily either have the ambitions within them. They don't have what it takes. They get caught in the wheel cycle of karma. That's why so many of us have volunteered to come to this planet from other galaxies, from other planetary systems, to support the evolution and the ascension of Earth. There are so many masters that are embodied living on this planet right now at this time that are here to help guide an extraordinary amount of human beings back to the consciousness of their heart, back to the awareness of their higher self, back to the potency of what we are capable of doing here when we actually join together. The United States is like the epitome of separation. The United States is the epitome of individuation. The United States is the epitome of me first, I, me, my. It's all about me. And social media is exacerbating this narcissism around it. That's not where we're going. The age of Aquarius, this Pluto, this Aquarian shift in Pluto shifting into Aquarius, it has everything to do with grassroots. It has everything to do with harmonizing back to the earth. It has everything to do with coming home to Gaia. It has everything to do with coming home to that inner place within ourselves, that deep intrinsic knowing, that deep intrinsic instinctual knowing. We've gotten so disconnected in this plastic world. It's so easy to be unconscious in the US. It's so easy to be unconscious. The first thing I noticed when I started living in Bali was that because everyone is driving around on motorbikes, and sometimes you see a family of 4 on a motorbike with a dog and like a couch, you're like, how are they doing this? It's crazy. I'm exaggerating, but like, it's pretty crazy. And what's really interesting is that because that is the main form of transportation, you have to be 100% present, right? Like you hit something in your car, oops, you hit something on your motorbike, like you could really screw yourself up. You have to be present. And so it's like that environment just commands this absolute presence. And because it commands this absolute presence, there's a different aspect of harmonization of the heart within. There's a different aspect of like really being tuned into what is going on around you. There's not as much autopilot. And the autopilot stuff is part of the amnesia. The autopilot is part of the indoctrination. The autopilot is part of the dissociation. So to be present and to be present truly with ourselves and our heart's inner desire is like what this card is about. It might mean to isolate. It may mean to be in a tower. It may mean to give yourself the opportunity to really get clear on who you are, what you're doing here, what you came here to be a part of. There's something really powerful about what is showing up here, one, for us in this card, right? It's like the balance. But when you get really clear on what you came here to do and who you are beyond even the label of your name, one of the most powerful experiences of my life was when I went from being called Samantha, my birth name, to Sitara, my soul name. And it was really interesting because Samantha no longer resonated. And I never felt that Samantha was my name, even as a little girl. I was like, why are they calling me this? Like, it was so funny. But it just didn't fit. And then I hadn't yet really connected or clicked in or understood Sitara. And it was really just me allowing more space for the wholeness of the entirety of my being, the wholeness of the entirety of my higher self, the wholeness and the entirety of my own oversoul, to really start embodying in my body, in my mind, in my consciousness. And what was really profound in that experience was that I was existing in this world for about 2 months without an identity to the label of a name. And this was not even something that I had even conceptualized was something that would happen or something that I could do. I never thought about that. And once I realized, I was walking in the world as my I am presence, because I am not Samantha, I am not Sitara. Okay, then what? Then what? It changed so much. It changed so much for me. And then when I realized also that Sitara is actually an affirmation for those who've had incarnations on the planet Tara, and that it's actually a mantra that awakens. It's a code. It's a sound healing. It's a sound code. Tara, green Tara. Tara itself was the name of a planet that I believe Earth chunked off of. That's a whole story for another time. But ultimately, it's an activator. It's a reminder. And I can tell the people that I meet that have a resonance with Tara or had incarnations on Tara, because they're like, Sitara, what does that name mean? Where did you get that name? Tell me all about the name. I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's see what's here for us. And what was really funny is that I was trying to negotiate with my guides. I'm like, look, Sitara is like a whole thing. Can I be Sita? Can I shorten it? Can we make it a little bit easier? And they said, no. Tar is the activator. Ontare tutare tore soha, right? Ontare tutare tore soha, ontare tutare tore soha, ontare tutare tore soha. It's this affirmation or this chant mantra that we use to call in green Tara. To me, that explains Pangea. To me, that also explains why there's Orion constellations all over the planet. It also explains why so many of these sacred sites are obviously connected. If it all came from one planet. And just feel for a moment. And this is why we're here today. Got it. Siatriawa hunoa puatriania. Yokio nuko traikio siatriawa huanaka satria yayatronoa. It's also why some people are really drawn specifically to my dialect of light codes. It's because it's the same language that your soul knows from these other incarnations on other planets specifically. Sotrai kionio kua hua traya kia siatraya. These are just simply codes of remembrance. Siatria wa ha'onukuapu. Remember who you were. Remember who you are. Remember that you can access this level of consciousness. Because the thing about Tara is that Tara was vibrating at seventh dimensional consciousness. Tara was vibrating, all beings on this planet vibrating at seventh dimensional consciousness. And there are many planets that are vibrating at a much, much, much higher consciousness than 3D. Right? It's dense here. Whew, it's dense. Satria wa huanaka sutru nuku putru nua. And so clearing the amnesia is also the acceptance of your wisdom living in a seventh dimensional consciousness as a sovereign being. Siatria wana haakapu sutru nua katria yo kionyowa haakaya sitriania haayawapu unuku sutru nua. Ya siatria wana haapuku sutru nua puku tarednia kia siatriawa. Yo kionyowa haakapu unuku satria inia kia siatriawa. Yo kuanawa haakatriawasu unuku putru nua kuasaya haatrianiawa. Yo kuanawa siatrianiawa okuapu ku sutru sutraiania haayawapu unukua sutru nua haakiwa sitriania yokua satriawa. All right, so we're taking off the mask. We're taking off the identity, the egoic identity, this idea of who you think you are. When we take off the mask, we remember the truth of our inner being. So traiania kaya haakatriania wa hookua satriania ki itria yo noa haakapu unuku usutru noa haayaki yo siotru noa haayaki asitriania wa hookua iasiatria ania wa hoa haayaki ni atria wa noa hookua pu unuku sutru noa. Ia kia siatre inia kia wapu unukuhu uku nukua satri ni haakia niki siatria ni wa hoku wapu nuku satria wa yo a triania wa haaya wa trunua ia siatria wa na haaya kaya siatrunua wapu nuku ia siatriania wa haakatriania wa yo a triania ia kia wa sa anaya wa wapu unuku sutroa. Ia siatria wa haayakiania wa omunu uapua kaya. Siatriania ki siatronua. Yo siatria wa. Let's take big deep breaths. Lot of energy shedding. Let it go. Connecting root chakra to the center of Gaia. Let the shell break. Let that exterior break. Let that egoic identity break. Let it all fall to the ground. Siatronua haakatriania wa. As you release the identity that is associated with the matrix programming, you allow yourself to bring to light what is true for you. Uayatraya hayawa huayatrianiawa huukunua puakai. Yo siatrianiawa akapu nayaki siatriawa. Yo siatriawa siotronoa puakutronoa siatri kianakia. Alright, so let's go ahead and pull this third card. And of course, before I do that, for those of you who are popping on new, go ahead. You're welcome and invited to type golden in the comments. That's going to give you access to the dragon activation, the entity clearing masterclass, and the Quantum Leap Immersive as a bundle. It's like our end of the year special. You know how it goes. So we put that together for you. My assistant wanted to call it the Awakening, and it could not be a more fitting name. So we are sharing that with you as a bonus and end of the year. We did a bunch of different three-day master classes this year. And so that was a package that just felt aligned. So it will help to activate your dragon codes. We've been living in the year of the dragon. I am born the year of the dragon as well. So it has been a very, very powerful year for so many of us. And I am actually, again, going to be closing it out in Dubai at the end of January with another dragon activation in the dunes. I cannot wait. We'll be doing that virtually too. So there will be a virtual pass that you can participate with us live as well. Very excited about that one. Okay, so Let's go ahead and pull another card, our final card. We've got the Three of Wands, this one in reverse. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. So to me, this has everything to do with like looking forward. It's not about looking back. It's interesting, right? Because retrograde periods usually have us like looking back at certain things. But what I'm seeing here is that it has a lot to do with looking forward. Has a lot to do with looking forward at like, what is the path ahead for you? And it's not necessarily casting yourself out into the future, but it's just simply about looking forward rather than looking back. It's not about like what has happened, right? It's actually about allowing yourself to integrate so that you can genuinely let it go. Some things you just need to let go of. Some things need to be integrated. But there's something here as well with this third wand behind his back that is saying that there's maybe one or two things that have been left unresolved and unreconciled. And so again, not necessarily going back into the past for information, but it is about looking forward and seeing where maybe a past experience has been holding you back. And that it's time to unravel that. It's time to really let it go. It's time to really lay it to rest. It's time to let that story just be in the past. It's time to let that story just live where it lives rather than as a part of your here and now and rather than a part of your future. Does that resonate for you? Are you in agreement to that? Are you ready and willing to drop the story, drop the identity around it? Like, who would you be without your wounds? Who would you be without the wounds that you carry around and reinforce to stories with other people? This is what happened to me. This is defines who I am. This is the la la la. EFT is a great way. EMDR, somatic healing, moving it, shifting it through the body. It's so key. It's so key, right? Because we can try to logic and rationale and like, decide we're over something in our mind. But if it hasn't been released from the body, then it's not clearing. Right. And I've had a lot of big T trauma moments in my life. And I can't tell you how many times I've looped around healing something that I thought I healed. And part of it is because there's only a certain level of the emotional capacity that we have to meet ourselves at certain circumstances, that we have to like drop ourselves in a little bit deeper to be able to see what's going on there. And that's a beautiful thing. There's no shame on your path of healing. There just simply is what's there. But if we can agree together here and now, I just got a ping that this is intergalactic even. It's not just this lifetime. It's that, like the Star Wars, right? The Star Wars that is us against them, light against dark, Arcturians against Lyrians, like all sorts of stuff. Some of us hold that in our blood. Some of us hold that in our genetic encoding and remember certain things that happened in other galaxies, that happened 500 million years ago, that happened. We're like, why do I feel this way about this thing? And I don't really understand why. Like, what is it that's going on here? And so it's like the deepest, let bygones be bygones, but not only let bygones be bygones, it's actually like, how can we really come together and really harmonize with some very deep and ancient intergalactic wounds, right? It's kind of like when you look at it like that, you're like, okay, yeah, I guess I can forgive that person because whatever, they didn't pay for my ice cream or however you want to chop it up. But there's something seriously deep going on here in our own DNA. I know you guys can feel it. I know you can feel it. It's not just about what's going on with politics. It's not just about us versus them. It's like, it's so much deeper than that our mind can't even really necessarily comprehend until we start having conversations like this. Because once it gets brought up, it gets brought up. Once you learn, you can't unlearn. Once you feel, you can't unfeel. Right? It's like once someone uses words to harm you or words against you, your nervous system doesn't really forget that. And we're talking about really fucking intense situations, like really intense circumstances that happen, literally like the obliteration of planets. loss of entire civilizations, loss of entire populations, souls that just get obliterated from planets, and then what? Some of us remember this. Some of us remember it in the encoding of our DNA. You may not have heard this conversation before, but there's something happening with you hearing me say this, right? You're like, wait a second. Why does this resonate? Why does this make sense? Why is this checking out? Why is my intuition telling me to stick around? Again, I know it sounds kind of funny to say that here, but like the dragon activation is going to help us clear this on an interplanetary level for sure. That one call alone. The entity clearing masterclass is going to protect you from the bullshit that's in this world that comes out of the freaking woodwork when you start shining your light and become a beacon of light. You have to know how to protect yourself. The entity clearing masterclass is going to tell you how to do that. We have to allow ourselves permission to receive the information and to be educated on what it is that's happening. Not just la, 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 la. My belief creates my reality. And if I don't believe it, it doesn't make it true. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. It doesn't make sense. Just because you choose not to look at something doesn't mean it's not there. It is time for us to stand in our power. It is time for us to clear fear. It is time for us to stop checking out. It is time for us to clear the amnesia and to stop committing to dissociation and numb. We have to feel with every freaking beat of our heart. We have to feel to the level of depth that is actually going to alchemize the pain of the historical traumas that have happened, not just on this planet, but other planets. The reason why this is so important right now, by the way, as well, is because the critical mass situation happening with planet Earth right now is that the healing of this literally ripple effects not only in this galaxy, the Milky Way, other galaxies, and ultimately a universe, universal consciousness, universal presence. Some of us haven't become aware that there are literally hundreds and thousands of galaxies that are out there. When this takes place, because we have so many different genetic strands of different star systems and families that are incarnate on Earth, we are an intergalactic melting pot. This isn't just a melting pot of the American dream, any of that. This is literally that we are an intergalactic melting pot. There's a lot that happens on Earth, and there's a lot that's been happening on Earth for eons. It goes way far beyond any bit of carbon dating. Way far beyond. Just because we haven't developed the technology to be able to understand what is on this planet, which is why there's so many freaking mysteries. I just got back from Peru. Holy moly, there's things I can't explain there, but I know that there's a knowing inside of the encoding. And why I'm sharing this with you, because the guardians, they blessed me with the gift of being able to be a spokesperson for this. This is why I know this is coming through me right now. I agreed to participate. I agreed to be a spokesperson. I agreed to share their channeled messages. I agreed to share the messages from these sacred sites. We were there leading transmissions. I was leading channel transmissions at some of the tops of these sacred sites with a group of 70 people, anchoring light, doing the grid work. It was beyond powerful. It was beyond profound. There's so much still that I'm unpacking in my own nervous system to comprehend what actually happened. Sometimes we do this grid work, sometimes we do these activations, and there's a bit of a blindness. We just know that we're supposed to do it, but we don't really understand the depth or the brevity of what's happening. It's so profound. It's so profound. And when we allow the limitations of our mind to just kind of just take it off like it's a helmet, just take it off. Let your heart commune with the divine within you, because all of everything that I'm talking to you about, you already know in the consciousness of your heart. The consciousness of your heart is a literal stargate between time, between realms. This is why even in the expander, the light language masterclass shifted it into a 4-week expander call. That call yesterday, we did so much heart healing, because if our heart is carrying wounds, if our heart is carrying pain, if our heart is carrying trauma, it doesn't allow us to activate it, doesn't allow us to open it, to actually be able to have these memories. This is why it is so important for you to heal. You don't just get to decide that you're going to start like connecting to your soul family without healing your heart. This is why healing hurts. This is why shadow work is important. This is why it's important to take responsibility, because some of these personality traits that we've developed from our own pain are even us reconciling like this lineage that is like billions of years old. I put years in quotes because time is funny when you're beyond time. It doesn't exist in the way that we comprehend it, because we're here seconds, minutes, hours, linear form. It's different. But when you start tapping into the consciousness of your heart, you start tapping into these wavelengths of some really profound beauty and some really profound grace. So the healing that you step into, the tears that you cry on your pillow, the reconciliation that you have in your heart. I did a transmission at Sacsayhuaman in Peru, just outside of technically in Cusco. And it was like on the mound of the Divine Mother. It was like a 5-minute transmission. It knocked my ass out for the rest of the day. I had a hard time getting out of a dark room because I could feel the grief and the sorrow and the pain of the Divine Mother that had spent so much time, dedication, and care on creating these civilizations that ended in cataclysmic explosions and failure because people couldn't get along. Crying those tears changed me. Feeling that deep changed me. The other thing that also happened when I was in Peru was that there was a sense of urgency. It was like, this needs to come out now. You need to start speaking about it now. You need to start moving forward with it now. There's a power in the presence to what it is that's moving forward in a way that offers a really powerful divine grace and a really powerful divine union to what it is that's going on within each and every single one of us. This is why the harmonization of our own internal masculine and our own internal feminine literally is the encoding of the blueprint that is anchoring the new earth here. Wounded feminine, heart. Divine feminine, heart. Wounded masculine, ego. Divine masculine, ego. It's a harmonization of head and heart that is literally activating that sacred union within. That sacred union within is going to mirror and match and bring in sacred union. I can tell you right now, I feel with every ounce of my bones that next year, 2025, is going to have, you are going to see so many sacred union pairs coming together. This isn't just power couple. This is star family power couple. This is star family royalty coming together. We are so much more powerful when men and women are harmonized together. That men are no longer devaluing and looking down on women because they are no longer devaluing and looking down on their own intuition. They're no longer devaluing and looking down on their own internal feminine. And that women have healed the hurt of what that has done for eons. That we allow ourselves to not be so much in that pain, but that we allow ourselves to be in the reverence of the forgiveness and compassion that actually turns all freaking systems of our internal power on in full force. And it's because we're no longer afraid of being hurt, because our men have learned what it means to protect women so that we can feel safe enough to fully open up. Safe enough to fully anchor light, safe enough to fully birth the new earth consciousness. But we need our brothers to come along, and we need our brothers to understand what safety in a female body means. It's not just physical safety, it's emotional and spiritual safety as well. And we have to do it together. And it all starts within. It all starts here. So it's the brilliance of the power of what it is that we are bringing into this unified field. It's the recognition of our sovereignty that will literally flip this whole matrix system inside out. That's why we're here. And we all have our own specific lane on how to do that. So let's go ahead and rub your palms together for a moment. Open, activate your hand chakras. Go ahead and place your hands on your heart. Yeah. 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 Sitara kunu ya Sitara kunu ya yo troana hayawapu kua yo sio troana hakasu siatriania hayawapu no kua satriania kiwapuaka Satriania waha kopunuku sutrua yakia satriania waha kopunuku satriakia nikikia kiana wapu kuapunuku wapu kutoranakai niasio. Remember to connect your root chakra from the base of your spine all the way down to the center of Gaia. And anchor and root and clear. Anchor and root and clear. So one more time for those of you who are just hopping on, you can go ahead and type golden in the comments for your invitation to join us for the Golden Holiday Stack, Entity Clearing Masterclass, Dragon Activation, and the Quantum Leap Immersive. It's going to be there for you to really deepen your connection to yourself, deepen your connection to your soul memories, tap into the wholeness of your being so that you can see who you are in this world, what you came here to do, and how much power and presence there is already living within you. We just have to turn it on. And the power of turning that on, it's like incomprehensible to the mind. But I promise you, as you take step by step, that this whole entire universe, this whole entire world, this whole entire reality is going to start looking a lot different, because you can't unlearn once you learn. You can't unsee once you see. You can't unhear once you hear. This transmission here for all of us. Anyone feel changed? I feel changed. I don't usually talk about this on the internet. Clearly I needed to. Clearly I needed to get some stuff off my chest here. There's power within you that has gone untapped. And it's time to embody it. It's not just like unleashing it. No, it's time to embody it. To walk in this world with spiritual maturity, wisdom. It's not just intellect. It's not just intelligence. It's wisdom. Wisdom is embodied. Wisdom is integrated lessons learned. Yeah, I see someone saying, please save it. Yes, I post all of my Instagram lives. They just stay on my page. And so if this resonated with you all, please feel free to share. Please feel free to share my page. Please play the algorithm game with me, the likes, the shares, the comments, so that more of our brothers and sisters. It's a funny thing that we have to do in this world, but here we are. Here we are. All right, my loves, I'm holding you in so much grace, just wrapping all of you in big, giant angel wing hugs. want to just take a moment also to celebrate all that you are, soul to soul, memory to memory, high five to high five. Even things as simple as an Instagram live can really be a divine appointment. You know, could have been written in our soul contracts that we meet here today, 12:12, have a conversation about activating our memories and go, let's go. So thank you for Cita Divina. That's what I learned in Peru, Cita Divina. So divine appointment. So yes, thank you for being here. Yep, golden. You can type golden in the comments and you'll be sent that invitation. Beautiful, my loves. Una cita divina, sí. Beautiful. So honoring heart to heart. As we go forth, may we integrate the healing and the lessons received with courage, self-love, and compassion. Our session here is very much in love and very much complete. Again, thank you so much for being here with me today. Love and adore you. I'll tune in with you on the other side. The other side of this weekend's portal. I do have a podcast as well, actually, that I share more about my first experience in Mount Shasta going into Telos, which is a 5D city that is in Shasta. And it's called Visiting Telos. My podcast is called Beyond the Physical. So Apple, Google, or Spotify, Beyond the Physical, and just scroll down. It's kind of one of the first ones. It's right there at the bottom, but it's called Visiting Telos. I'll go ahead and post that actually again in my stories, but you can find it there. All right, my loves, I adore you. Thank you for spending time with me today, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. And we want to share a big, generous thank you to our listeners who decide to become Monad Society members. This supports this podcast so we can stay true to our heart-centered vision of freedom in topic and expression. We are happy to welcome new members into Align, our community that meets twice monthly for deep dive transmissions, Build, our quantum business development for intuitive entrepreneurs from $0 to $10,000 a month, and Rise, our advanced level psychic development and scale your business course for high-level founders and CEOs by application only. I'm grateful that Monad itself is a sponsor for this powerful and free offering. So please know your invitation to join our movement is here and now. Please click the link in the description below, monadsociety.com/Sitara Speaks, to see what offering resonates with your higher calling. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Beyond the Physical. I hope you found our discussion enlightening and inspiring. Remember that this is an ongoing journey, and I'm here to support you every step of the way. If you enjoyed today's episode and would like to hear more, I encourage you to subscribe so you don't miss on any of our future episodes. Connect with me on social at sitara.speaks for more insights and updates. Until next time, stay connected to your inner wisdom and keep shining your light.